Reposition windows. Awesome. Sim volume 50. I think we had a sim update too, beta update. So I'm going to check and see if there's patch notes. My game had like 3 gigabytes worth of downloads, so... I personally am not hearing any sound, though, so I don't know if there's... Did they fix that? Because I don't have music turned on at all. So I'm wondering. Nope, there's game sound. Good. Good. I'm guessing maybe it loads the sound upon the game starting instead of halfway through the opening. That being said, let's see, I'm trying to think. The only times that the sounds are playing is when you're doing career mode. So because of that, I'm actually going to turn the music back on. There we go. Alright, free flight. We're taking the H125, and we are returning to... Oh, what was the name of that airport? Where did we end the other day? We stopped right before Silverstone. Oh no. Hold on. Restart little nav map. Little nav map just lost all of my route. So hold on a moment. There, now it's back. Okay. Slightly concerned there. EGBT. Reposition windows. Echo, Golf, Bravo, Tango. Thorsten. Oh, I just realized there's a big target painted on the ground. There's a couple big things. Not painted, but cut into the terrain, I guess. Huh, okay. Alright, let's... I have now lost it. Sim volume 100. Sim volume 1. Sim volume 50. Okay, so weird. It's... the volume control is now working. Okay, so let's go to VR. Go over to OBS and cut it down to left eye only. Alright. Cool. Start flight. That was weird. Can't seem to directly select it. You have to kind of go off center now. Why was the horn buzzing there? That was also weird. Alright, so can I... No, you still cannot manipulate this with the mouse, sadly. So we're going to go into this, map, satellite imagery, orientation, track up. There we go. That aircraft has been sitting there since I loaded in. No. Apparently, in real life, an aircraft is just sitting there on the tarmac with its transponder on. Alright, let's see here. Battery on. Shoot. God, this entire morning I was okay with this damn cough. The moment I start my stream, I'm coughing again. Alright. Give me that. Give me that. Now, I'm curious. Say intentions thing. Can I make this text larger in any way? Not really. Keyboard's in the way. Okay. Good positioning on that one this time. Avionics on. That was weird. Uh-oh. Okay, that's odd. My starter's not working. Why is that? Weird. It's like the controls always have to be just reloaded. See, right now, we should be hearing tick, 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 tick of the igniter constantly going. And a lot higher pitched sound right now. That starter gets loud. Sim volume 70. Okay, rolling up. There we go. Send the copter back and get a new one, right? Alright, so, once I take off here, first place we're going to is actually the Silverstone racetrack. It's only a few miles away. And we should be able to get to Stonehenge as well.
Gatorade. H2O. Gatorade. H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
And Dietrich, hope you're doing well today, dude. Game time.
11:14.
Okay. That, I think, is using UTC. What time is it in England right now, real time? Actually, what am I thinking? Literally right there. So there is an hour difference between UTC and British summertime, right? Okay. Got two aircraft here that have their transponder on. Weird. 12:14 in England. Okay, cool. Might be changing games in a little bit. We'll see. Volume 40. Next track. Bird. Volume 50. More birds. Okay, it's only 3 miles away. Symbol this way more nimble than military helicopter. Pause music. Helicopters in general, movies and video games make them seem a lot slower than they really are. And Nambrock, thank you very much for the resub, dude. Appreciate that. Helicopters in general are like really maneuverable, right? People don't realize like exactly how maneuverable they can actually be. I mean, this is only an AS350. It's only got 780 horsepower turbine motor. A lot of military helicopters are even beyond this. So, the rotor horn, I hear you. But, like, I mean, they all are pretty maneuverable. It's just, again, it's all down to video game physics. A lot of people are like, oh, in Grand Theft Auto 5, if someone shoots a missile at you, you can't dodge it because the helicopter's too slow. No, if it was real life, like, it's a lot more maneuverable than people think. You get like an M500 or the military Little Bird. Oh my god, those are like... Then again, I got a bunch of Europeans in chat. The Corvette of helicopters. Now, me saying Corvette might not mean as much over in Europe, but it's like a sports car, essentially, right? But we were flying a third-party M500 the other day, and it was twitchy as shit compared to what I'm used to. I haven't flown that one in real life. I have flown this in real life. But yeah. Alright, let's see. Here's Silverstone. Or is it Silverstone? I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Where is... There you are. Okay. Getting my bearings. Next track. Oh, the satellite imagery was actually picking up some cars. Oh, okay, maybe not. I got into a really bad vortex ring state with that. Going a little bit too fast. Let's try that again. Also, please turn my... Hold on. It never turns my fuel pump or lights back on. Silverstone, okay. Oh, I got all sorts of turned around. Try that again. That way, yeah, it wasn't nimble enough. I was pushing the helicopter well beyond its limits. Next track. Birds. A little bit calmer on this one. Through the S's. Why? Why is there a building on the track? Pretty sure somebody has some third-party scenery that actually fixes a lot of the buildings here. Oh, I wanted to try going underneath the bridge, but, Come on. I'm going all off into the sand. Dang it. Why is there a building on the track? The AI is identifying some kind of structure there. Yeah, my lap's not near as fast as an F1 car. Drag the skids. And of course, turn one carnage there. Alright. Cool. But yeah, that's Silverstone. Got their infield track as well. Guessing for like karting or something. And see, they have a small infield runway for, I guess, helicopters. Because I'm pretty sure during race weekends, they probably fly the drivers in or something. That's cool, though. Alright, continuing on. We are going to head south. Got another little karting track. A couple little karting tracks over to the side. Over there, and then whatever this long drag strip looking thing is. The drag strip, not exactly. The middle actually looks like some kind of in-row parking? I don't know. Cool dog, yeah. No. Those buildings are not actually there in real life. The AI in the flight sim is identifying, oh, there's a building here, and it just places it there. Somebody needs to go to the racetrack and manually clean stuff up and tell it where the buildings actually are or something. Did Asobo fix the rooftop helipad abrupt updraft issue? They did in Sim Update 1, so yes. It is so much more controllable. Here. Pause music. Oh. Let me see if I can find a building that actually is physically there. Because apparently that building wasn't actually there. That kind of sucked. Bad example. Hold on. Are you there? You're not there either. What? Why are all these buildings not existing? They did fix it. I just gotta find a building that actually exists. None of these buildings exist! What is going on, game? Unless this is a new bug for Sim Update 2. Have all the buildings been deleted? I mean, clearly not. We ran into that one building earlier. So... Huh. Weird. Pause music. We'll go find a building next to the next airport, maybe. Please exist. Please exist, please exist. Hey, we exist! But you can see there was no huge... So, right now we're in ground effect. If I move off the building... Now we're out of ground effect, and we start to drop. But you can also see there's no huge anti-torque inputs or anything like that. Is this how I land too? Please exist. There's less of that in real life. That being said, I have had times where we were landing on vertical rock formations in Utah where you're like, okay, don't brake, don't brake, don't brake, but yeah. Apparently this is a runway, but it's not listed on... It's not listed on this, it's not listed on little nav map. What airport is this? Technically not even an airport. Well, just randomly coming across this, let's land. What? That was nothing! Why did that count as a crash? That was nothing! My descent rate was like 100 feet per minute, which is nothing. We land at like 300. We can descend at 300. That was just weird. Gotta turn... Again, it never turned the... Why is my horn switch now not working? What? I'm confused. Again, unless they did something with Sim Update 2 to make it a lot more sensitive to touching down. But that was... Yeah, that right there was worse. I don't understand. Interesting, my switches aren't switching. Yeah, my fuel pumps... Hold on. And now it works again. I don't know. That's really weird. I'm not sure. Alright, continuing south. So, as you can clearly see, my trim string is showing straight, right? Pause music. So if I do full left pedal, you can see how now it's going to the left side. If I do full right pedal, it's going to the right side. You want that trim string nice and trimmed with the center line of the aircraft. But you'll notice that when the trim string is correct, my coordinated turn indicator is way off to the right on both of them. Which that is a bug that has existed since the game launched. So hopefully they can get that fixed at some point. Next track. I do kind of wish that the bug splats were randomized. Right now, it seems that there are multiple layers of dirt, and as the longer you fly, they just slowly appear. So, that bug splat is there every time I fly. That bug splat is there every time I fly. I just realized that that bug splat and that bug splat, the two pieces of glass are mirrored. Look, you can actually see that right there with that dot right there. Can you guys see that? You gotta get over green. There's like a little triangle right there. And over here, there's another little triangle. They just mirrored it on each side. I wish that they had a couple different lookup tables so they would mix and match them so the bug spots would be different. I mean, you don't really notice it as bad because you're not staring out of that window all the time, but when you realize it, you're like, shit. Maybe I need to start modding things and make enhanced bug splat mod or something, I don't know. That requires coding. I don't know. There's some mods that I would like to make. I've got the stuff so I can retexture my own helicopter in well, I can retexture the Cohen sim helicopter. I can't retexture the stock helicopter yet because because they haven't released any of those files, sadly. I will never unsee that. Of course I won't unsee it. I'm the one that made the bug report on the Flight Sim forums of all the bugs wrong with this specific helicopter. I'm the one that saw that the water drops were going the wrong way on these side windows. Nobody else saw that. I was the first one to report that. There's a lot of little things that I can't unsee with this helicopter. EGYA. Why is there power line? This has got to be a shutdown airfield. You usually don't run power lines directly across an airport. Huh. This has got to be a closed airfield. Gotcha. I'm not seeing... Oh, there it is. Never mind. At least I think that's what it is. I think that's the fuel. Right there. It is. Good. Go down. Wait, no, that's not fuel. That's another airplane. Shit, where's the fuel? Then again, it being a shutdown airport, it probably doesn't have fuel anymore. Whatever, I'm at 40%. Echo Golf, Lima Juliet. Where they updated the VR experience in SU2. A lot of people are reporting much better frame rates. I personally am noticing better frame rates as well. Previously, you had to have an older Nvidia driver to get rid of the stutters that were added because of animals. Oh my god, thank you for even saying that, because I just realized something. They might have reset my settings because there was an update yesterday. I gotta double check my animals. Fauna. Ultra. Yes. Okay. So there was a bug that was causing severe frame rate drop with the animals in Sim Update 1. I just realized I haven't seen any animals. Hold on. Ah, shit. Forgot that pausing resets this. There we go. Let's see if we can find some animals. The other day we were finding tons of cattle and sheep. Lions, tigers, and bears. I have found a total of 1 lion in the game, but that was before Sim Update 1. Perfect music while we're searching for something, right? Where are the cattle and sheep? Volume 70. Yeah, I got like a 3.8 gig update yesterday for this. I don't know what updates were pushed for. I guess that would be Sim Update 2 Beta 2? Or Beta 3 now, I'm not sure. I don't know their numbering system. Did they blow up an H-125 in the world is not enough? Usually helicopters get exploded a lot. Oh, it took me to the end of the runway. It didn't actually take me to the middle of the airport. Okay. Interesting. Alright, looking for fuel. None over there. There's fuel. I need fuel, please. And there's that bug where it gets rid of all audio. Give my audio back, please. Volume 30. Down to idle. Oh god, I forgot I still got the seats full of invisible people. Horn off. Get rid of all the extra weight. Get rid of all the cargo that they're carrying. And fill up fuel. I keep forgetting that it loads, like, 4, 5, like almost 800 pounds of stuff in the back, even though you can't see the people. Kind of annoying. Wish it would remember that from flight to flight. Alright, rolling back up. So, we just filled up fuel, quantities all the way up to the top. Turn the horn back on. I know the horn's annoying to listen to. It's in real life, you're always just doing a function check to make sure it's actually working. Make sure that it turns off when it's supposed to, turns on when it's supposed to, all that kind of stuff. Alright, we are heading south. Next airport is only 3.6 miles away. Trying to make sure that we are going to get to Stonehenge today. It's a few stops, but hopefully we should get there. Piss off everybody in this village. Yeah, where I'm now wondering, where are the cattle and sheep? Because I'm wondering if it's because it's a lot of brown fields that it's not going, oh, this area is grass for animals and not spawning animals in. Because the other day we had tons of animals. Then again, it was a lot more green. But see, again, I'm surprised that it's not spawning down there or here. Put the collective all the way down. I still had the collective pulled up, so it was very light on the skids. Echo Golf Uniform Delta, EGUD. That, no. EG. Gotta make sure that you're entering in the correct letters, otherwise it will not go to the airport. I just had a stupid thought. I never actually checked to see if little navmap has a function to actually export its route to the sim itself. That would actually help a lot. You know? That might actually be a thing I want to do, so I have the entire route instead of having to hand enter it every time. But meh, whatever. Volume 50. Curious what that building is right there. More birds. Being that this is a more rural area, maybe a grain tower? No, church. Never mind. It's a church. Alright, 6 miles away. I keep getting distracted of, oh, that looks cool, and I start, like, gravitating towards it. I'm not actually paying attention to my route. Oops. See, when I look sideways, there's a little bit of judder. When I look forward, it looks a lot smoother. I don't know if it's something with camera's not expecting it or something, or what is that? Racetrack? Rally racetrack? I don't know. Alright, 3 miles away. You can see the end of the runway right there. It's like it's this entire thing here, I think. When the game launched, this helicopter's fuel use was doubled. They did fix that with Sim Update 2 as well, which is really nice. What is this? See a lot of lights for the flight line. Oh, it's a bunch of gliders. Okay. What? I have never seen this. What? Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm in a helicopter. I am legally required to blow these away. Hello, children. Oh, they need to make these interactable. Could you imagine the helicopter blowing this shit away? Would be amazing. Oh, somebody needs to make a mod. I have never seen this 3D model in the game. Ever. I didn't realize these... What? This is like the last thing I expected to ever see in a flight sim. That's crazy. Frickin' bouncy houses. Alright. That's weird. Pause music. Striker Wolf, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing well. Alright, next location is actually heading north again. There is that really weird, the moment you touch the skid down, it twists to one side. It shouldn't be as aggressive. That's making me wonder if, when the skid touches down, I think there's something going on with the physics where it's getting rid of a torque value from something. And because of that, that's why it has that really weird rotation. Alright, where are we going next? 4 miles away. Actually, and this is the great thing, is I can actually do this. I can go home, nearest 4.4 miles. What airport is 4.4 miles away? According to this, absolutely nothing. Probably because it's a closed airport. So that doesn't help me. Probably that. No, that's 9 miles away. What is... That's 7 miles. .6. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just has me going to a closed-off airfield. That's weird. Okay. I mean, technically, this airfield that I'm at is closed off, too. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. We're not going to an airfield. That's why I can't find it. We're going to Oxford. We're going to a point of interest is what we're going to. Okay. My bad. I thought we were going to another airport. Pause music. I think there's supposed to be a point of interest over here, but for some reason we're not seeing it. How is the music volume to you guys? VR Guy Racing, so far so good. They just pushed out another 3.8 gig beta patch this morning. So I haven't... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Pause music. See, now I'm really curious. Let me see if I can find if there were patch notes. Alright, let's see. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 Sim Update 2 patch notes. First off, I'll enter. We are currently in 1.4.10. We were in 0.9 the other day. So it's definitely an update. One 1.4.10.0. So I'm trying to find what the, here it goes. Okay, so here's the patch notes. Fix crashes inside GPU drivers due to one-off error inside texture loading code. Fix issue with legacy in-game UI data issues, rendering them invisible when they should be visible and using the wrong data. Fix an issue where the notification of group invitations and friend invitations were excluded from the gameplay state. Fix login pop-ups sometimes not appearing for new users. H125, improved visual on dust dirt. It did look slightly different. Interesting. EFB, moved flight plan management buttons to the header and grouped them by action. Added tooltips for every icon button. Adjusted the styling of the flight details page so it is more consistent with other pages. Facility search bar result items are aligned horizontally. Closing facility info pages will clear the facility search bar. Added a bounds verification for geo-reference charts to fix the issue where the aircraft icon was displayed in the wrong position. Allowed the fuel reorganization from the hangar and career mode. Payload and fuel options are combined and displayed on one page. Added a possibility to collapse a section while clicking on a section title in the route page. Added button to navigate to the mass and balance section of the aircraft app. Added support for loading fuel and payload into the active aircraft. Payload and fuel sections now have a total fuel and total payload quick input setter. Nice. Fixed wrong texture directories being cached when generating scenery index. Airports. Fixed discontinued I can't pronounce that. When terraforming polygon is split. Fix custom runway start not being used in free flight. Fix incorrect runway used for spawn when assistance option AT enforced flight plan is disabled and another runway was selected as departure. Fixed terraforming discontinuity at end of runways. Okay. Virtual reality. Added cockpit interaction group toggle action to switch between interacting with one or all throttles. Action is binded by default to Alt-G on keyboards and A or trackpad down on VR right controllers. Fix interaction in VR for the collective of helicopters being implemented by a similar logic to the yokes. Okay, that might have been my bug report because previously some helicopters you had to go exactly up and down and other helicopters you had to go forward and back, when in reality it's like an arc, which makes sense if they're going to mimic the arc of a yoke where you push and pull and you turn. So they might have actually added it if you're using this controller to use the collective. Currently only applied to the H125 and Cabri, but can be applied to third parties in their helicopters by defining the parameters in the CFG, the config, and disabling the collective's mode behavior in VR. So the helicopter I'm in the Cabri. Okay. Fix the EFB panel zoom scroll input behaviors in VR. I'm going to have to check that because then again, I might not have the EFB zoom in and out loaded or zoom in and out bound. Let's actually see if we can fix that when we get to the next airport. Okay, cool. First, we're going to Oxford. We're going to look at whatever stuff is here. Now, if you look down right now, you can see that we've got individual trees being placed here. I can see a little bit forward, I'm starting to get tree blobs. So somewhere here we're going to get photogrammetry of Oxford instead of just satellite imagery. See, it looks like the tree blobs start like right here. We're getting actual photogrammetry. Again, this high up, it looks absolutely fine. Any lower and it will look really bad. But you can see, because we actually have photogrammetry, the buildings actually look interesting. You just don't want to get close to it, because then it looks like melted ice cream. God, I can't wait for the day where their AI thing that they're developing looks at the photogrammetry and goes, oh, this is... It looks like a melted blob, but what if we use the texture but make it look sharper? And then it fixes a lot of the stuff. That would be a good use for the AI. They really like these courtyard type of buildings here, don't they? And I'm guessing this is mainly Oxford College. Am I correct in saying that? And see, now I'm curious. Zach, are you still here? It's a dumb question. You might not even know the answer to it, to be honest. All right, let's continue on to the next airport. When I get to the next airport, I'm gonna set the aircraft skids down, and we're gonna see if we can figure out the zoom on this, because I would like to be able to zoom in and out on the EFB. See, now I'm curious. If I hit tab, that happens. Oh my god, we can! We can zoom in and out on in VR now. That's interesting. So they've got the zoom function on that, but they don't have it on the actual tablet. Annoyingly, though, it is a really odd size. Huh. Next track. Volume 60. Volume 60. Yaris, yeah, I try to... One of my rules for my around the world flight is I use real weather. So, this is, according to local METARs, what the weather's like in the UK. We have had some days where the visibility was really bad. Oh wait, hold on! They exist! Hello, sheep. Look how many more animals there are now! Sheep and cows. Hello, sheep and cows. And this was partially one of the questions I was going to ask Zach. Oh, and there goes the audio again. Hold on. These animals are actually from Frontier Developments. The flight sim developers were able to get animals from the Planet Zoo devs. Animals do exist. Look how many more there are than there was before. That's got to be at least 20, 30 animals. Now, they are a little bit stuttery. Hopefully they get that fixed at some point. Alright, continuing to the airfield. So the animals exist, and the game is not stuttering. The animals are stuttering, but not the game. Yar is, yeah, we didn't have a winter here either. This time of year, normally the Mississippi River is flooding like crazy, and nothing. It has just been dry. I only had to pull the snowblower out once. Last year I only had to pull it out 3 times. The year before I had to pull it out like 8 times. I'm flying over a castle that isn't modeled. Dang, I was hoping that would be a cool castle, but I guess not. Oh no, shit, that was the point of Benhelm Palace. That's what I just flew over. It wasn't an airfield, it was this location. Apparently in 2020, this is a fully modeled 3D model, but in here it is just generic castle, I guess. Slightly disappointing. Somebody needs to figure out how to get those 3D models of those special buildings ported over to this. Alright, on to the next airfield. Well, the thing is, like, talking about global warming, pause music. So here's the thing, is that what people don't realize is that global warming, heat energy is energy, right? So when you have heat energy, you have higher highs and lower lows because you have more energy moving the air currents around, right? The problem is the average global temperature is higher, which just because you might have local weather that is colder than normal, it's because you had more energy at, say, the equator that was high, low pressures and pushing that cold air from the Arctic down and making days colder. But overall, the average is higher. It's just more, the weather patterns have more energy. When you sit there and you heat up a lake, and that lake starts to evaporate, and that water heats up and it goes up, and all that energy is raising, and it goes up into the air until it gets to its dew point, and then the cloud forms, and then it collects, and then it starts to fall as rain. Like, it just all has more energy. If you have more of that updraft energy from the heat, well, now you've got more energy. It pulls that moisture up even higher, and then you get more hail, as an example. It's just messing up weather patterns around the world. It's weird. I would like to have a winter again. Like, I mean, what we almost need at this point is, like, we need, like, a volcanic event. Let it spread a shitload of ash and just globally lower the temperature is almost what we need. I mean, it'll suck because it'll cut off, like, flights. Because, like, you guys saw when the volcanoes happened in Iceland, that messed up a bunch of flights around that time. But we need something to reset some stuff. Pause music. Yeah, the Dubai floods, right? Oxford Tower, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo requesting touch and go. Oxford Tower, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo requesting touch and go. Radio volume 80. Pause music. Sorry. Now I gotta figure out why my radio thing is not working. Yeah, we had a bunch of stink bugs in Minnesota as well, and oh. Because I don't have say intentions running. That'll do it. Oh, it has an update. Next. One moment. The program's not going to work if I don't have it turned on, right? But yeah, we had a bunch of the stink bugs in Minnesota as well, and they never really died through the winter. Like, usually, like, they go away, but they just... We kept having warm days where they would go active again. And it's like, can you not? Like, please, die off. Oh, shit. Accidentally clicked on the thing. All right, let me try this again. Breeze Norton Tower, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo requesting touch and go.
Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo, runway 07, left circuits approved. Report downwind each time.
Left runway 17, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo. Alright. Radio volume 80. Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo, left downwind, runway 07.
Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo, runway 07, cleared for touch and go.
Cleared for touch and go. Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo. Alright, let's do this. So as you can see, I'm using the Say Intentions AI ATC. So it's listening essentially for keywords. And it's pretty cool because like you can use like as long as you use the keywords, it'll generate a response for you and everything. Alright, from here we are going to be going south. Don't tip forward. Why not on VATSIM? Because VATSIM is only certain areas of the world. They don't have air traffic controllers everywhere, and because I'm in Europe right now, a lot of VATSIM is Western U.S.
Beechcraft November 9001, Bravo, hold short of runway 33 traffic on final. Holding short of runway 33, Beechcraft November 9001, Bravo.
The other problem with VATSIM is that because you are dealing with other real people, a lot of the air traffic controller individuals on VATSIM are tryhards, is probably the nicest way to put it. They don't like dealing with helicopters because helicopters are different than what they're used to. They just want to give call-outs to commercial flights. So because of that, I have had nothing but bad experiences with VATSIM. It's people that want to pretend to be ATC that aren't really ATC. And because of that, they're like, oh no, something different, like, I don't know what to do, and because of that, they get angry. And then they take it out on the pilot. So, yeah. In my opinion, it would be really good practice, but they kind of dug their own hole. They essentially are assholes. Tower helicopter Mike Delta Bravo requesting takeoff clearance to the south.
Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo. After takeoff, enter left downwind for a straight out departure to the south. Wind 090 at 16, runway 7, cleared for takeoff.
Enter left downwind, departure to the south, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo. Thank you. So, being that this is a controlled airspace airport, looks like Charlie on the chart, so do this all controlled. Okay, we're gonna turn left downwind. Airplanes for this location are probably right downwind to keep helicopter and airplane traffic separate. Okay, left downwind, and now at runway center line, departure to the south. Let's go. Next track. Why can't...
Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo. Runway 07, cleared for touch and go.
Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo, cancel the touch and go, please. Yeah, we're not doing more touch and goes. We're departing to the south.
Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo, touch and go cancel. Advise intentions.
Departing to the south, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo.
Helicopter Mike Delta Bravo, wind 090 at 16. Takeoff from your current location will be at your own risk.
So this
After
is...
takeoff, proceed southbound.
Proceed southbound, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo. So, one thing that they are working on... VR Guy Racing. Radio volume 10. I have gotten helicopter specific radio calls where they do report in where they're like land on the pad at own risk, which at that point you don't even use the runway. So they do they have done helicopter specific stuff. Now, right there, one thing that the Say Intentions team have talked about is that they are planning on doing a thing where when you speak to the tower, it will remember your past conversations, So right there, the conversation, it didn't remember the past one, so it forgot that it already gave me clearance to head south. So it thought I was still doing patterns, essentially, and that's why I had to cancel the touch and go. But that is something that they were literally talking on their Discord 2 days ago, I think. Next track. My biggest drawback for, say, Intentions, it is a monthly fee. They're supposed to be coming out with a free version or a one-time fee version that has less voices. The paid for one, it'll change the voices depending on where you are. Given that I'm planning on going around the world, I wanted to change the accents and everything, so I'm doing the monthly fee. But again, that's just my choice. Do I have DFR? Pause music. Sorry, again, I say this all the time. I was in the Air Force for a decade. You throw an acronym at me, my brain literally just goes error message. DFR. DFR. My brain is just blank. Graphical option, is it like I'm blank. Does the Quest 3 have eye tracking? No, it does not. Oh, you're talking about the oh, what is that setting? Foveated rendering? Right now, no, I do not. I am running DLSS Super Resolution. Yeah, the Quest 3 does not have eye tracking. We can try turning that on. I don't know if it... I don't know if it'll work on this headset, though. Because I am running through Steam VR. Ooh, hello. I don't... I can't tell if it's doing it on the edges or not. I take that back, it is working. So, yeah, I'm running foveated rendering now. Yeah, I've been... Personally, I think I might be trying to raise money to try to get the big screen VR 2. This headset has a 25 pixel per degree display. Big screen Beyond 2 has 35. Problem is it's pricey, and it does have, you can get it with eye tracking, which I'm interested in. Yeah, it doesn't ship till June right now. Yeah, it is. It's a ways out. It is a corded headset, though. It's not wireless, but it's extremely tiny. That's their entire thing, is that because it doesn't have any onboard anything, it requires the cable, but because of that, it's light. Wait, what the... What is this? Somebody has a single road that has these little... What? What is this? Did somebody build like their own personal racetrack? That the entire racetrack is just a hairpin and then a drag strip? What? I am really confused. This might be a little personal airstrip for somebody. I don't... Hold on. I see something. What am I seeing? Oh, come on, game, don't do that. This is the only aircraft that I've found that does that. Give me my audio back. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. The BSB to eye track. Hold on, wait. BSB to eye tracking. I now need to Google that. BSB to eye tracking. Oh, okay, you're talking, okay, the big screen beyond 2E, okay. I mean, VR chat is kind of what I want to use it for. I've got an avatar that I use in it, and I want the maker of it. They have a... Ooh, don't do that. The maker of the avatar actually has a Quest Pro that has eye tracking built in. And you don't understand like how much more expressions you can get with having proper eye tracking. It's great. Okay, hold on. See, now that I'm looking around, it looks like there's like a little bunch of... Like, that looks like a horse race track there. Maybe that's what it is. It's for horses. That's what it is. It's a thing for horses. That's why they have the gravel road next to it. It's a place where they can trot the horses out. Okay. I realized what it was once I saw the horse track over here. Yeah, see, here they've got individual pins and a circular track for them to do stuff, and it's all dirt. It looks like everything around it is like dirt and gravel. See, they've got a bunch of these little circular pins, one right there. You can see the circle right there. You can also see a spot here where they probably have the horse on a rope, and the horse is only allowed to go in a circle. So it leaves all these little circular things everywhere. Huh, okay. That makes so much more sense. Alright, continuing on south. We need to get to Stonehenge today. EGOC, Echo Golf, Oscar Charlie, Membury Airfield. Radio volume 80.
Clear to land runway 24, Beechcraft 9001.
Radio volume 70. I think that is on the other side of this tower. Let's go around that, please. Yeah, see, there's a lot of horse tracks here. Is that a covered horse track? That might be a covered horse track right there. I'm not sure. So this airfield looks like it was all torn up. There's not really much left here. It makes me wonder why, if these airfields are no longer in use, why it was imported into the database, because it shouldn't be. This one, at most, might be a helicopter airfield, but it shouldn't have airplanes here. Got another gas station over there, too. I don't think they have Jet A. If it thinks there's a field, yeah, if it thinks there's a field, it auto-populates the aircraft. The problem is, like, if they got a database of this is where all the airfields are, I think they're using some kind of AI thing to place where it thinks the boundaries are using just satellite imagery. The problem is a lot of these airfields that are all torn up like this one shouldn't have it done. Like, it should be removed from the database. Like this place, it's not going to carry fuel anymore. It's not going to have a place to actually land. They've probably removed all the signs and stuff, so it doesn't need to have all this stuff. Next track. I feel that after turning the foveated rendering on, my frame rates are lower. I'm going to turn that back off, because it actually looks worse. Yeah, it feels smoother without it on. Nice, Lance.
9001 9001 Bravo, cleared to land runway 12, caution wake turbulence from the departing jet. Cleared to land runway 12, Beechcraft 9001 Bravo.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Two miles out. See, this looks like another airfield that's shut down. I'm just seeing buildings and stuff over here. Wait, what am I seeing here? What is this? Like some weird pattern going on. Oh yeah, this entire airfield is now solar panels. Or no. It's storage units. Wow. Yeah. They need to fix these airports, because these aren't airports anymore. Whoa! No.
Fernando 6 Alpha Lima traffic at your 10 o'clock, 2 miles, same altitude, advised if in sight. Looking for traffic 6 Alpha Lima.
Being surrounded by solar farms. It's probably cheap land because the dirt is probably contaminated because of fuel leakage and stuff, so they can't use it for anything else, and the solar farm it would work fine. Land tends to be relatively flat, so easy to use. Don't know why I keep grabbing that. That right there, please. I need to recreate those knobs on an actual thing in front of me. 'Cause that'll make it a lot nicer. Time.
7:50.
Set timer 10. What's weird are the old airports that are surrounded by solar farms and wind turbines, because then you're approaching the airport and you just got blades spinning everywhere and you're like, this doesn't seem safe. Alright, 1 mile away. Alright, this looks like a larger airfield. But according to this, it's closed. Nope, that runway's open. The big yellow X is something that's added from the sim. The runway that you're seeing right now is not an actual satellite texture.
November 9001, Bravo, hold short of runway 33 traffic on final.
20 miles.
Holding short of runway 33 Beechcraft, November 9001, Bravo.
There's got to be a way to filter out all the farming airstrips. Alright, where are we going to next? Collective all the way down so we're full weight on the skids. Come on, there you are. Alright, next location. Next location is Stonehenge. Cool. Let's go to Stonehenge. 20 miles. That's why it's not an airport. Can't find it because it's not listed as an airport. Oh, see. We've been to Stonehenge before, just as loading in and looking at it. This is the first time we've actually flown to it during our around the world trip. Hopefully, it actually still has a 3D model. It did before. That was also where we found our first cow. Alright. I'm wondering if that... If this is a point of interest, that'd be nice, but... Samster Red Claw, same, dude. I would like to one day go over to the UK, rent an MX-5 Miata, and just drive around the country for 2 to 4 weeks. It's just to do that, money on hotels and everything, but... Actually, I'd probably do it for 2 weeks, and then also just museums and shit. A lot of aviation and museums kind of thing. Live about 20 to 30 minutes from Stonehenge? Nice. From what I understand, Stonehenge is, like, visible from the motorway, too. Like, it's right next to it, isn't it? Pause music.
Mooney 824 Foxtrot Delta taxi to runway 16.
Most London museums are free. My big worry about the London museums is the, oh, what do they call it? What's the fee that they put on all the cars if you go through London? I can't remember now. It's also busy as heck and a nightmare to drive. Yeah, congestion tax, that's it, thank you. It's like dealing with that stuff is just like, just avoid London, go everywhere else. I don't know. Like, I've flown into Heathrow and then rented a car and then drove up to Cambridge before, but didn't really get a lot of time to tour the country. I was literally there to go to Frontier's headquarters. Visible from the road, from A road, always traffic from rubberneckers. Nice. I've done it all on foot. That's right, park outside and then underground. Yeah, keep forgetting that exists. And I'm off course. I am not entirely convinced that the point of interests work anymore. That might have also broken in Sim Update 2. I'm also noticing that there's a lot of restricted airspace I'm about to fly over. Oh well. I don't like driving up Stonehenge Way, it's horrible. Yeah. Next track. Time.
7:58.
Couple more minutes. Alright, I think we're 10 miles out. a varies much better day out, and there's a few burrows to see. It's the largest Neolithic stone circle in Europe. The village is inside of it. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty damn big then. Alright, so I am now flying through restricted airspace. Given that you got all these little double roads, this might be a military training area.
10 minutes.
Time.
8 o'clock.
Confirmation, it is 1400, 2 p.m. in England, right? Yeah, this looks like something that they explode. There's nothing here. This has got to be military training stuff. Live fire locations. See, that looks like a busted up tank right there that they shoot at. Got a lot of what looks like impact things, all in lines too. So yeah, probably live fire stuff. Can either confirm or deny that? Yeah. A lot of the Salisbury Plains is Army. Salisbury? Am I pronouncing that right? Probably not. Yeah, they've got the rolling hills, so if they're going to be doing live fire with, like, tanks or something, that's good because the ground will take the round and not... It won't go to somebody's else house down the way if they aim high or something dumb. Okay, so it is somewhere in front of me. I do not see a point of interest, but it is less than a mile. So we're now looking for it. So, I see the motorway. I'm guessing this is the motorway. That might be it right there. But I'm not seeing a 3D model. That's it. Pause music. So wait, the 3D model doesn't seem to be loading. Well, that's disappointing. If I'm not getting, if I'm not getting the 3D models loading, what's going on with that? Hold on. Now I'm wondering if it's a graphical option.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 27. Cleared for takeoff, runway 27, Warrior Tree 71 Bravo, Charlie.
One moment. Turn buildings to ultra and see if that does it. Huh. So we're not getting any of the custom 3D models. Photogrammetry off. It didn't used to do that last time. Interesting. Previously, you turned photogrammetry off and it just... there was no loading afterwards. Daylight savings time error. Please wait while we move the stones. Yeah, I can see that being a thing. Oh, that actually does work. So I actually can use the thumb thing to actually slide that up and down now. That's nice. Huh. That's disappointing. Dang. I was really hoping to see Stonehenge. Maybe that now explains why I'm not getting any... I haven't seen any point of interest. So, bear with me a minute. Let me check something. All categories. Sim Update 2. Scenery and airports.
Plane 11 Bravo Charlie Squawk 0315, switch to 135.4. Squawking 0315, switching to 135.411, Bravo Charlie.
New topic. Okay, I don't think anyone's done this. Alright, let me quickly Alt-Enter 1.4.10.0. Issue description. All point of interest do not seem to load. Dictation. Stonehenge. Stonehenge, for example, has no 3D model or marker that shows its location. Has worked in the past. Well, this is slightly disappointing, guys. I was hoping to be able to show you Stonehenge in this. Did I experience this issue before I joined the beta? No. Coordinates for specific location, and this is why I really like little map. Right click. Coordinates to clipboard. Stonehenge for known, working on live. Okay, reproduction steps. Dev mode. Using a control panel.
432 Delta Echo cleared for the
Planetary
visual
survey
runway 9
reveals
report,
flat
3 miles from
standing stones. I've contacted Starfleet to send us a
runway 9
plummet.
report at 3432 Delta Echo.
Right. Alright, I am 4090 572.83. It was brand new as of a couple of days ago. Can I add a screenshot or video of it occurring? I mean, am I just supposed to show a flat image of... Alright, let's do this. Let's go up. Let me get my flat image of Stonehenge. Alright, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do active pause. Okay, there we go. There's our image. Copy and paste. There's my image. Alright, media. When I'm done with this bug report, I'm going to give you guys the link so you guys can vote on it, please. Okay, Steam install, PC, late Sim 2024, scenery. Okay. great topic. Darkness Dreams, we actually saw that yesterday. When I was looking at little nav map, because it was because of the name, I thought it was like I was looking for a particle accelerator circle, and then I get there and I'm like, I'm not seeing it, and I had to actually Google it, and I was like, oh wait, oh, it's that, and then we actually found it, yeah. But yeah, we found it up on the hill yesterday. Alright, I'm gonna now go to the closest airport, and we're done with Flight Sim for today. We're gonna be going into another game. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, let me make sure the other game is loading.
Hold short of runway 12 traffic on final. Holding short of runway 12 Bonanza 964 Foxtrot Alpha 2.
There's a horse variation somewhere? That's cool. Okay, it's doing a download. Okay. Internal and unpause. Oh, that's disappointing! Like, we used to be able to see the, it fully 3D. I'm sorry, guys, that I wasn't able to show you guys that. And yeah, I can see all the rubberneckers. They should build a wall right there to prevent people from doing that. Reposition windows. Alright. Let's head to our airport. May even see crop circles. We've been seeing some weird shit. Of course, I fly so down low, I don't see a lot of it, but the moment I go up, we end up finding something. Like, in real life, that's like, they got a satellite imagery of a whole bunch of sheep or something down there. Usually, if they're white in color, they tend to be sheep. Cattle tend to be a little bit darker in color, but... Alright. And go. Next track. Maybe some crop circles there. Something in the... Something. We're now going to Thruxton. I think that's the runway right there. I'm not entirely sure, though. Kind of hard to see. That might not be the runway. Also, this seems to be frozen. That was weird.
Citation 433 Mike Whiskey, hold short of runway 12 traffic on final. Holding short of runway 12, citation 433 Mike Whiskey.
No, further out. I'm finding it crazy how many solar farms there are.
All aircraft be advised. Information mic is now current. QNH 1018.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like determining cost effectiveness, and some people do because they're able to get prices for their crops, other people not so much, and find that doing the solar power thing ends up being better. Why does this airport look like it has a racetrack built into it? Possibly because it is. EGVP. So I currently have another game loading. We will be switching over to it shortly. However, until it finishes loading, I'm just going to keep flying. Birds.
Beechcraft 90001 Bravo, maintain current heading traffic at your 12 o'clock.
Maintaining current heading Beechcraft 90001 Bravo.
Yeah, myself personally, I feel that my choice to now land at every single airport, it's a hell of a decision to make, but I'm starting to understand where all these locations in England are now, or I should say the UK. Like, if someone says Exeter, I now know where Exeter is. Someone says Edinburgh, I know where Edinburgh is. I know, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's so nice. The big old grass strip here. Compton Abyss. Yeah, this is Middle Wallop. Middle Wallop Airfield. Looks like it's just a grass airstrip. It's a really big one. They have a little tiny paved area over here. Ooh, a little bit of judder there. I'm gonna do a stupid thing here too, okay? Because we have so many bugs on the window, I'm gonna simulate cleaning the window off. Normally you would have, you know, a spray bottle of water and a... What the frack?! A spray bottle of water and some stuff, and a paper towels or whatever, but... Volume 20. So I'm gonna load back in. I'm gonna try something here, bear with me. I'm wondering if I'm missing, missing stuff in the marketplace. See, like, this is Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 stuff, though. See, we have the world update. Shouldn't have any filters at all. Apparently nothing was enabled. We're gonna go back to Stonehenge and see if it fixed it. Because apparently it disabled everything. Sim Volume 0. Volume 40. It's having to think. EGVP, Echo Golf Victor Papa. I'm loading stuff in Flight Sim. I've got this other game loading in the background. I'm streaming music. And then I'm sending all the video and audio to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. My network is probably going, stop. Uh-oh, VR just stopped. Uh-oh. There it goes. Okay. Free flight. All right. Echo Golf. Victor Papa? Yeah, Victor Papa. Back to Middle Wallop Army. Okay, so let's start off there. Departure. Start flight. All the switches off. Let's see if this does anything to the terrain and everything now that it has a bunch of loaded stuff. Because the route is a traveling salesman route, we are going to skip back over to we're going to go back over to Stonehenge and check. Sim volume 50. Ah, didn't get it in time. Start the engine. There we go. EGDM. Volume 10. Horn on. Okay. Picking up. Let's get out of here. Volume 40. Can't seem to switch that switch in VR.
weird. Yes, we're currently running the Sim Update 2 beta. The one that was updated yesterday, so it was the 4.1.10 update. So I think this is Sim Update Beta 2? Yeah, Sim Update 2 Beta... It's either... No, it's Beta 3, I think. Bird... EFB working in VR? Yes and no. This one, no. But if you switch to the virtual one, I can zoom in and out on it. The problem is it's fuck huge. Like, it's the wrong size. Like, I can't resize it, apparently. But that one, yeah, you do have a little bit of zoom control. Which sucks because I want to use it in this one. I want to be able to zoom in and out on that one. So this is a very... That is a very weirdly shaped airport. It is a giant V. Okay. Now Stonehenge is showing up. Okay, I might have to remove that bug report. So it's not going to show the point of interest if the point of interest are not loaded in because it deleted all your stuff. We're going back to Stonehenge. Boop. Technically I touched down, and we're off again. It counted, I touched the skids. Okay, I need to go back to this, my bug report and update it. Okay. Oh, don't do that! Don't do that! Woo! Okay. A little bit of aggressive there. That was... I hate it when it loads in. I remember, when during the tech alpha, unpausing the game was super smooth. Of course, we didn't have VR or anything, but yeah, cool dog. That's weird because, like, Sim Update 2, for me, the frame rates have been better. Do remember that medium settings in 2024 are ultra settings on 2020. So start at medium and then go up from there if you're trying to get frame rate back. I can see the 3D model already. So much more gooder. Are you running through Steam VR or virtual desktop? Pause music. With in previous updates, Sim Update 1 and the regular and oh my god, look at all the cows. With the previous Sim updates, I was getting really good frame rates with virtual desktop and Steam VR was looking extremely blurry. Steam VR now, for me, is getting better frame rates than virtual desktop. And, I find that the render resolution slider and frame rate options in it now work. Something required more than 8 gigabytes of video memory. Ah, okay. I am running a 4090, which I think has more than 8 gig. So yeah, now that it actually has the satellite imagery, not the satellite imagery, the point of interest, we can actually see Stonehenge. I think people would be very upset if I did this in real life. Hover a helicopter this close. Probably in real life, there's a bunch of people milling about it too, right? Here, let me really piss people off. Oh, it's not. Oh, it is real, kind of. It's kind of real. Kind of real to a point. Boo, I was hoping to, like, touch the skid down on it. So actually, let me set some settings back down again. Go back down to medium and low for the traffic for the airports. Characters don't really care. I want glass cockpit to be as high as possible. Can it go higher? No. Light shafts don't really care. Ray march reflections, meh. Ambient occlusion. Can I just, yeah, just turn that off. Don't need that. Let's see if that gives me a little bit better frame rate. Look how many animals there are now. Yeah. So many more animals are rendering. And it's funny, too, because the first time I ever saw an animal in the game was literally when we cut over to Stonehenge to look at the rocks. And it was a cow. Here we have sheep and cattle. Moo. That's so many more animals than we used to have. All right, continuing on, heading to the south. Next track. Alright. Next airport, I am stopping and saving at, and then we're switching games. I have a Quest 3? I have a Quest 3. I should have read that as, you have a Quest 3, I have a Quest 3. It is a Quest 3, underneath all the covers and 3D printed bits. But it's been working okay for me. Right now I'm running it through Steam VR. Okay, so the next point that we're going to is the Salisbury Cathedral. It's not an airport, so we got a little ways to go. Am I able to get Quest 3 working with Meta account? Sadly not. You don't need to attach it to Facebook, but you still do need to make a Meta account. But that means that if you need to, you can make it attached not to your real-life email. You can make a fake email for yourself. Yeah, Uber. I'm personally looking at the new Big Screen Beyond 2. I need to raise $1,200 though, because it's an expensive headset. 35 pixel per degree versus 25, and then wider field of view and eye tracking. All right, I think I see the cathedral already. That's a big building. That's a really big building. A Deckard? Yeah, they've been close to announcing Deckard for like the last 3 years, though, is the problem. What is this that I'm flying over? Must be an old castle with moat or something. I don't know. That is a really big building. God, you can see that from so far away. Yeah, the headset just had update 47 the other day, which they changed the entire UI of all their stuff, and it seems to be performing better overall. Just in its built-in stuff. I don't know if this is actually solid or not. Nope, it is not. Whoa! We're stuck on the building. Lift up, please. Thank you. Okay. I got the skid hooked on something there for a moment. All right, continuing on. 17 miles to the south. Call the fire brigade, right? So I've got a an install added that adds all the water towers around the world, so nice little thing there. Oh, don't do that. .143 knot ground speed, awesome. A little bit of a crosswind. Yeah, Mr. Tommy, I think I put the skid. The problem is that the 3D model of the building didn't go all the way up to the actual peak, so I went through geometry until it hit the physical bounding box of the steeple, I guess. And I didn't lower the collective all the way, so I didn't have the entire weight of the helicopter. So it had that one contact point, and then it was just like rotating around on it, which was really weird, and why we kind of hung there for a moment. I might have to at some point load up dev mode and see how large the contact point is for the actual skid. If they've got it correctly modeled over the entire thing or not. It makes me wonder, because there's a known bug where helicopters are not counted on their takeoff and landings. And I'm wondering if it only has 2 contact points, maybe the wheel that makes contact with the ground for airplanes is not on the helicopter, and maybe just more points need to be added, maybe? That might be a thing. Their pixels even smaller. My understanding is that in the SDK you can set their size. I'll have to look at it one day. I just don't know what the base Asobo aircraft use. I mean, I know it might be like that for the airplanes. I don't know how it is for the helicopter. Because I've put the skid down on things and balanced on it before. From the front of the skid all the way to the back and anywhere in between, so I don't know. We'll have to check. Alright, what airport is this? It's not showing. Put multiple points along the skid. Yeah, because the thing is all streamed, you don't get, you can't go in and edit things as easy on the streamed aircraft. Being able to easily open up the aftermarket aircraft, just not the Asobo default ones. It's making me wonder, because they had the same problem in 2020 where helicopters never counted takeoff and landings. And it's making me wonder if it has to be a specific wheel to touch down. And I wonder if that's what's causing the lack of it counting takeoff and landings. Yeah, like I wanna repaint this aircraft with my own livery, and I can't. You would think that they would allow those files to be downloaded, but they don't. Burns mouth. Pause music. Burnsmouth Tower, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo, inbound for landing. Burnsmouth Tower, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo, inbound for landing. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of audio stutters.
Helicopter Sierra Papa Mike, Delta Bravo, Bournemouth Tower joins, left downwind for runway 8, wind 100 at 13.
Left downwind, runway 8, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo. Weird. I'm getting a lot of audio stutters.
Warrior 371 Bravo,
Ooh.
traffic, runway 29, report midfield.
Are you guys hearing that too, or is it just on my end?
Report midfield Warrior 371 Bravo, Charlie. Scope conspicuity. FTX 323. Thank you.
Royal Duke 537 Papa Alpha, Bournemouth Tower. You are leaving Solent CTA basic service on exit.
Left downwind, Mike Delta Bravo. Give me clearance, please. Left downwind, helicopter Mike Delta Bravo. Are you going to give me final clearance or not? I'm just going to land. They told me to enter left downwind. I entered left downwind, reported my position, and then they give me nothing. Again, yeah, another audio stutter there. Yeah, another audio stutter. Looks like the parking's to the right. Or to the left. I'm a helicopter, do what I want. Again, usually the only time that we don't ever really go across grass is if we see that it's freshly mowed or something. Then it just kicks up grass clippings everywhere. If we have to go across the grass and it was just mowed, we just fly higher, so it's not as big of an issue. I guess this will work. Whatever. Don't know. I don't understand why the audio cuts out like that. Horn off. So frickin' weird. Engine off. Wireless is nice. I mean, yeah, I've got... My headset's now wireless. The cable, I just keep it on there for power. But then again, I think the only time I ever really go wireless is when I'm doing, like, VR chat. Because then it's just nice to be able to move without having to worry about tripping over stuff. Anything sitting down, I'm absolutely fine with wires on. Radio volume 10. Alright. We are good. I feel like the friction, the natural friction, is a little bit too little. Because RPM should have dropped a lot faster. Perfect. And then everything else off. Game just froze. Wow! The game just hard crashed. The problem is I was flipping those switches so fast I don't know exactly what part caused the crash. That sucked. That's actually, like, in Sim Update 2, that was literally my very first crash ever. Haven't had a single crash in Flight Sim 2024 Sim Update 2 until right there. Alright, so now comes the other problem. Is I don't remember which, I think was the fifth one back? Let me double check. Game, controllers... Show USB. Okay, so Ava base. Fifth one off. That causes that to crash. Alright, little nav map. We are done for now. Yeah. So we ended the flight at Bournemouth. Pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that. Okay, cool. So center stick is now disconnected. Turn on this stick. Joystick HOTUS Warthog. That'll work. Alright, say intentions. Shut down all of my flight sim things. All right, real quick, guys. I am going to be switching over to some Elite Dangerous. I got early access to the Corsair, which we're going to go try. Let me get everything swapped over to Elite. Presets. Let's see here. Let's update that. Let's go to the YouTube. How does the Do I have to stop and restart the YouTube stream to get it to... I think I'm going to have to do that. If you're watching on YouTube, the stream is going to end. You might need to find my live channels and load into the next one. Otherwise, it doesn't change the game title. So, the YouTube stream is going to stop for about 5 minutes while I change over all the stuff. And then I will start it back up. So be on the lookout on the live channel of on the live section of my channel for it to go live. So I'll be back as soon as possible. Be right back, guys. And I'm going to wait like 20 seconds before I hit stop. Make sure that actually makes it to YouTube and for people to actually hear and see.